little.
I miss you. What the fuck, you Chica?
So as I was mindlessly scrolling on TikTok yesterday, trying to fall asleep, I got one of those TikToks, you know those Family Guy videos with the story times in the background? Or actually the other way around, or the Subway Surfers in the background, with like the insane story times from Reddit and shit, from Reddit. It was the most gayest thing I've seen in my life. It was basically just confessions of people just admitting that they're gay. Just finding out that they're homosexual. So basically today we're going to be looking at these confessions, see if they're actually homosexual. What's happening here, you know what I mean? We're going to look into this, see what the people are up to these days.
Malik! The fuck is you doing in my deep freezer?
Damn man, this shit crazy.
People who have slept with a step relative. What was the aftermath?
What?
What was the most shocking confession you ever received from your ex? Last week, I got a call from my ex-wife out of the blue. Even though we had gone our separate ways, we had managed to move on and be happy with our new relationships. She asked if we could meet up for coffee because she needed to talk about something important, but didn't want to do it over the phone or text. I was curious as hell, so I said yes. When we met up, she told me about her current relationship and what a effing shock it was. Her boyfriend, the guy she cheated on me with 3 years ago, had been physically abusing her since they got together. It had gotten worse recently and now she wanted out of the relationship but was scared of his reaction. This blew my mind because all their social media posts showed him being loving towards his family, including their 2 kids. We
Keeping it a stack.
said goodbye in good terms but haven't
Keeping it a stack. If the bitch cheats on me, she deserves to get abused. I don't give a fuck. If she comes back to me after cheating on me while we were married, she deserves to get abused. I hope that bitch gets abused. You know what? I hope her husband beats the shit out of her. Fuck that bitch. Anyway.
My husband confessed that he wants me to peg him. I decided
What?
to give it a try last night and it was a big mistake. I was honestly shocked when he told me his was into the idea of pegging and wanting to try it. He's a very old-fashioned and masculine man's man, so not the type at all you'd imagine would be into such things. I figured why not? I've seen him flock me, it doesn't look hard and I'm not the one taking it, so why not? Well, we went to the SX store, bought a strap-on, bondage gear and plenty of lube and gave it a shot. Well, it was hard to get. Once he loosened up, I really started going to town on him. He was tied down and had a ball gag in, which is new but it's what he wanted. It was hard getting it into him at first, but eventually we got there and I started getting into it and really went to town on him. He was moaning really loud and had multiple organisms from what I could tell, but then eventually he shook his head to tell me it was time to stop. So I slowly pulled out the strap-on and liquid poop came gushing out of him like a river. All over our beautiful bed, our sheets, the SX towel we laid down and my legs and feet. It wouldn't stop coming out of him, so I did the only thing I could think of. I shoved the strap-on back in to stop the flow when made him scream loudly behind his ball gag and really only made it slowly leak out. Then I threw up, all over his back and ass, and he threw up all over the ball gag and nearly—
Batman couldn't get this information out of me. What the fuck?
When I was 9 to 12, my babysitter, a 16 to 19-year-old girl, had sex with me. Confession: my dad and sister's relationship. Hey, my next door pregnant neighbor knocked on my door. Around 7 p.m. today, I heard some knocking on my door. I opened it and it was my next door pregnant neighbor. She was, I think, in her 7th or 8th month. She was holding a small plate in her hand. In a very shy voice, she asked me if I can give her some of whatever I was cooking because she liked the smell. I think pregnant women sometimes have strong cravings and they cannot resist it. Anyway, she was shy and apologized a lot for her request since we don't know each other. I laughed and told her it is okay, smile. I was cooking a traditional meal from my country and the recipe has olive oil, garlic, jalapenos and some spices. I think the smell was nice. I gave her some of my dinner, then she left. I watched her walking home like a cute little penguin who's happy with her successful little hunting. I felt really happy too for some reason. My next door—
That's cute. That's cute. You know, it's a bit different than like my dad fucked my sister and like my husband shat on me and shit, you know. Like it is good to have something like this as a, you know, little break.
What is the worst thing you've overheard while pretending to be asleep? In college I woke up to my roommate's bed creaking. I shoot up to see what the hell is going on. There I see some woman on her back with her legs full spread eagle and my roommate just pile driving it like it was his last day on earth. Like a good bro, I quickly lie back down and pretend to be asleep. Then the woman said between gasps of air, "Is your roommate awake?" My friend then answers, "Nah, he sleeps through anything." Cue to next morning, I casually get up and turn on my PlayStation and start playing some random game. Roommate's Fling gets up and casually comes over and sits next to me. She introduces herself and asks me if I slept well last night. To which I responded with, yeah, I can sleep through anything. As the last word left my mouth, I immediately realized I blew it. She began a huge flurry of slaps at my roommate while cursing at him. He didn't care because he was too busy laughing the whole time while pretending to be asleep. In college I woke up.
That's crazy.
My mother-in-law drank my ball juice and my, now, wife doesn't know.
House sitter used my flashlight. NSF.
Okay, man, what the fuck are the house sitters getting up to these days, man? Using flashlights? No,
My older sister's boyfriend confessed his feelings to
man.
My girlfriend of 2 years was actually my
Man, can I just get a normal video, please?
I regret rejecting him.
Okay.
So I have a best friend who we'll call Jay, who's also my schoolmate, classmate, and we live in the same residential area. A little description on Jay. He's tall, handsome, athletic, fit, smart, funny and sweet. He even has good hair and the most beautiful eyes. Jay and I had been friends from kindergarten up till high school. When we were in primary school he confessed many times, but I only considered him a friend. I never saw him to be as handsome and amazing as everyone else did. Because I saw him almost all the time of my life. About a month and a half ago, Jay once again confessed to me. This time he did it more maturely and more in a sweet way that I actually felt butterflies in my stomach. But, I wasn't sure I felt the same. His confession did really make me think of it, but I really valued our friendship more and I didn't think I felt anything for Jay. So once again I rejected him in a way I regret to this day. I laughed and said, so I'm still your little obsession. Grow up and move on already, Jay. His face after I said that made me regret my words. He didn't laugh like I did. It seemed like he was fighting back tears. I honestly didn't think he was being 100% serious because he would always say how he will confess 100 times a week to wait for me to say yes. Jay just walked away and left. He didn't come to school the next day. He didn't come outside when I went to call him to walk together to school. He ignored my calls and texts, and when he did see them, he never responded. At first I was angry at him. Why was he taking rejection so seriously? I already rejected him enough times for him to get used to it, that's what I thought then. But the more I didn't get the notification of his text, his random FaceTimes, the goofy TikToks he'd send me, the more I didn't get to see his name pop up on my notifications, I felt bad. I had made so many tries to text him when I finally sent him an apology of a paragraph, but it was then I found out, he blocked me. He came back to school after missing 2.5 weeks out. Those 2.5 weeks I thought of him always. Our desks were together so I'd zone out while staring at his desk. One of my friends even told me I might have fallen.
No, this is a woman moment. How are you gonna describe the man as the most perfect person ever? The guy's handsome, smart, whatever else, good hair. He says he will wait for you, confess 100 times a week, and your bitch ass still rejects him, laughs at him? Nah. Fuck you, bitch. I mean, that's just sad, honestly.
What is your secret that could literally ruin your life if it came out? Background, I'm a guy in my late 20s who was taken into care aged 7.
What is that? Why are there ad-libs on the video?
Everyone around me already knows that I was brought up by foster families
Why
because
is Cardi moaning in my ear? What?